Wait a minute. Did they just accidentally reveal a Nintendo Switch 2 game? Because I think they absolutely did. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Hope you're all doing fantastic out there. We've got two big stories to talk about. One, a Switch 2 game reveal, and two, Metroid Prime. So, what's up, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Let's kick it off with Switch 2. Look, this thing is going to be in the news from now until release. But one thing that will not be in the news is when a game gets announced for Switch, but it's 2024 or late 2024 or 2025, which Switch are they talking about? We don't have any out public announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2, so nobody can throw up that logo, nobody can say the name, nobody can talk about it. But when we have things like today's THQ Nordic Direct live stream and a game gets announced for Switch in a suspicious way, I think we know what's going down. There was a bunch of games revealed at this THQ Nordic Direct. A lot of them had been shown before, some are brand new, and many were not announced for Switch whatsoever. Now, I found that a bit curious, but one game in particular was announced for Switch, albeit in a kind of hidden way. So this new South Park game called Snow Day was revealed and said it would be a cooperative 3D South Park adventure, and it's coming to next-gen consoles, not last-gen. It's PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. No PS4, no Xbox One, but it's also coming to Nintendo Switch. Yet it's coming to Nintendo Switch in a weird way because the trailer does not have a visual logo for the Switch. They show off a logo for Xbox, for PlayStation, for PC, no logo for Switch. Yet in the description of the trailer YouTube video and in their official Twitter post, it says the game is coming to Nintendo Switch. Very, very curious. Now, my assumption here is that they do not have the ability to show off a Switch 2 logo, and it's not coming to the original Switch. Therefore, they just say it's coming to Switch, and when Switch 2 gets announced, they'll confirm that, yeah, it's actually on the future platform. Now, if this game was releasing on Xbox One and PS4 as well, I'd say, okay, no big deal, it's coming to just Switch. Doesn't matter, probably the current. But the fact that this is a next-gen only game plus Switch, very odd, right? How many next-gen only games do you know hit PS5, Series X, and Switch? I don't know if there's any. I feel like we're just now tipping into late 2023 and 2024 next-gen only games, PS5 and Xbox Series X only games. So adding Switch into that for 2024 seems like a clear sign of a Switch 2 port. Now, I don't know that South Park Snow Day is going to be the most graphically impressive or intensive game, but I do expect it to look pretty good, especially since it's focusing just on next-gen consoles, and I think this is something that would be nice to launch on Nintendo Switch 2. Now, we don't have a release date for this game, they just say 2024, so this could be a case of one or two things. One, it could be that, hey, it's coming out late 2024, and it's going to launch simultaneously, or two, it's coming out in early to mid-2024, and then they're saving the Switch port for whatever happens. I would imagine that THQ Nordic, being owned by Embracer and being a substantial publisher, has information and probably has a dev kit for Switch 2. So they probably do have an idea of when Nintendo is planning to launch this system and when they need to have a game ready by if they want it to be on the next console versus the current. But those plans can obviously always change, and with things uncertain, maybe they're also leaving it up in the air, that this could come to Switch 1 or it could come to Switch 2. And there have been instances where if the game is not coming day and date, they will kind of be a little bit shy about the Switch version and then later say, oh yeah, we're porting it to Switch at a later date. But what's interesting here is the next-gen only flavor of this game. And I think that sets this apart from past examples where maybe it just was a delayed port on Switch. I feel the fact that this is PlayStation 5, Series consoles, and PC indicates this is going to be a graphically oomphy game, and going to be a game that does require more power than what the Switch is capable of to run at a respectable frame rate and performance threshold. I think South Park Snow Day is going to be on Switch 2. We don't yet know the backwards compatibility nature, so maybe it also can run reduced on Switch 1. I don't know, but I do think this is going to be a Switch 2 game, and I think we just got a reveal of a third-party Switch 2 game, which kind of is our second Switch 2 third-party game, our first being Call of Duty. A lot of people continue to talk about COD 2024 being on Switch 2, and we do know that in the Microsoft agreement with ABK that's about to finalize, they say that there will not be Call of Duty on Nintendo Switch until at least August 2024, which would line up with a second half launch for Switch 2. And hallelujah, we could have holiday 2024 COD parity with Nintendo Switch 2, which I think would be pretty amazing. I think that would show just how far Nintendo has come and just how far their console has come, and would really set a new precedent and a new era for third-party games on Switch 2, which should be leaps stronger and leaps better and leaps more on time than they've been on Switch 1. But let me know what you think. Do you think this is a secret Switch 2 game reveal? I think so. Metroid Prime 4 has not been revealed, yet we have some new info. Now, I debated talking about this because I don't necessarily buy it. This comes from Special Nick, who is typically an Xbox reporter, leaker, and I will say straight off the bat that he has been wrong numerous times before. I feel like he's mentioned Nintendo things that have not panned out exactly how he said them, or he made generic claims and then they sort of came true. I don't give this like a full Nate Drake level leak. Like Nate Drake, I'm like, if he's talking about it, it's happening. Special Nick, I don't really know. But what he's saying is that he knows someone that's seen Metroid Prime 4 and that the game is visually incredible, that it's visually amazing, and most importantly, it's not open world, but it does have very large areas. Now, both of these things I don't think are too surprising, but they're tantalizing because it's the first bit of Metroid Prime 4 anything we've gotten since that freaking title teaser. We have no real knowledge of what Metroid Prime 4 is about. There's been no real big leaks or anything of the sort, and we definitely don't have an official reveal from Nintendo. So Special Nick's sort of report is what we have to go on. And of course the game is going to look visually impressive. Prime Remastered is quite possibly the best looking game on Switch. It looks fantastic. They did amazing work. Sometimes I'm like, this doesn't look like a Switch game. So I have a great confidence that they will make Metroid Prime 4 the best looking Switch game, and I think it will be visually superior to almost anything else on the console, and it probably will be something that's cross-gen. It'll probably be on Switch 1 and Switch 2, looking even beefier on Switch 2, but still looking brilliant on Switch 1. So that's no surprise. The thing about open world, I never really thought Metroid Prime would go open world. Metroid Prime Remastered, which I played through earlier this year, is basically a corridor game with a few bigger rooms along the way. Metroid Prime 4 will probably be more expansive than this and perhaps have less linear rooms, less locked-in hallways, less loading hallways, but I didn't expect it to be some open world travel wherever you want type affair. They do go a bit further in this leak/rumor, saying that the areas remind them of Halo Infinite's big and open environments. But Halo Infinite was pretty darn massive. I would find it very hard to believe that Metroid Prime 4 will go with that level of scope, that level of open-endedness. There's some levels in Halo Infinite that are just like, it really is a massive open world in a lot of ways. And so saying that they're going to have bigger areas than past games, okay, sure. But saying that seeing the game in action reminds them of Halo Infinite, I don't know if I believe that. I feel like maybe that's pushing things a bit too open world next gen-y. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but this part of the report makes me feel even more that maybe this isn't wholly accurate. Maybe this is someone just spitting wishes. We'll have to wait and see, but Halo Infinite size Metroid Prime 4, right? Like that would be tough to achieve on Switch. And so this kind of feels like no news leakage. Like, maybe he does know someone that does know Metroid Prime, or maybe he doesn't. But either way, isn't this something that just about anybody could say about the upcoming game? Hey, Metroid Prime 4 looks really great graphically. It's visually impressive, and it's got big areas, but it's an open world. I feel like that's about the safest leak or rumor you could come up with. And maybe they did just drum this up out of nowhere, or maybe they did see the game. But regardless of whether this is an authentic leak or not, I don't think it tells us really anything. I don't think it gives us any tips or tricks on what this game will end up being like, on how it will end up playing, on what the main focus of the story or the plot or even the setup is. It's just saying it'll look good and it'll have big areas but not open world. Just like Metroid Prime Remastered. So basically it's a Metroid Prime game. And I know that we're very hungry and desperate for Metroid Prime news since they've said nothing except keeping it TBA on their financial reports for the last 6 years. So I'm thirsty for knowledge and thirsty for leaks as well, but I feel like this is a nothing leak, and it doesn't even come from a source that I fully trust. So it's a Metroid game is coming. I bet it gets shown off at next March's Direct or February Direct. I don't think it'll get shown at this September. We'll see. But I think it gets shown next year and then debuts on Switch, and then they show us a hyper version for Switch 2. I just feel like that's how it's going to go. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe there's some crazy Gamescom reveal or Game Awards reveal. That would be really neat. I'm definitely downright ecstatic to see anything about Metroid Prime 4. But this, to me, I've seen like lots of reports and stuff. It just feels like it's not really much of anything. But let me know what you think. Do you feel like this is big news? Because I sure don't. But I'd love to know your take in the comments down below and what you think about Switch 2 in general. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay up, stay positive out there. And until next time, SwitchForce out.